This is sponsored by Hank Spine Furniture and Mattresses. Fox 16 News at 9. Covering Conway, Malvern, Little Rock, and all of Central Arkansas.
Well, the Natural State, it's feeling lucky after Casino Gaming gets the green light to start next month in Garland and Crittenden County. Fox 16's Price McKeon breaks down the details and what other decisions were made at a meeting today.
This Hot Springs resident is ready to roll into Oaklawn Saturday.
I love Hot Springs. It's a beautiful town to live in. They ride my Harley.
We met J.B. Banning after the state's racing commission gave the go for Oaklawn and Southland in West Memphis to start casino gaming April 1st.
That's incredible. It's about time that they finally allowed live gaming back in Arkansas.
He's not the only Arkansan outside Oaklawn with that reaction.
I think it's real great. Save me from going to Louisiana. In Texas, right at home.
I think that's awesome.
Southland already set up dozens of tables for their live gaming to begin next month.
Full steam ahead, lack of a better term.
Southland's president David Wolf says just like Oaklawn, live gaming will begin in less than 10 days.
We'll have craps, roulette, blackjack, and what we call carnival games like Mississippi's stud and three-card poker.
Both places told the commission some existing gaming, such as sports wagering, will take a couple of months to transition and fall under the casino amendment that Arkansans approved last fall.
I may go to Louisiana a lot, but I'd rather come home. I'm in Arkansas.
The meeting also set May as the time the commission will accept casino license applications, which could impact Pope and Jefferson counties.
I think we're going to blossom again.
Banning's counting down the days for change to come to his city and state.
And that was Price McKeon reporting. We have covered the casino amendment extensively over the last year. Head over to our website, fox16.com, and search casino to find all of our stories. And a consumer alert tonight, complaints from consumers have led to a nationwide recall of Tyson frozen chicken strips. Some customers said they found small pieces of metal in the strips. As a precaution, Tyson is recalling 25-ounce bags of crispy chicken strip fritters, 25-ounce bags of buffalo-style chicken breast strips, 20-pound cases of the buffalo-style strips. Officials say these products have a use-by date of November 30th. In a Fox 16 safety alert tonight, a very windy road with hills and curves. It sits along the Ferndale community. Well, it's causing major concerns for some people who live there. Congo-Ferndale Road stretches between Saline County and Pulaski County. The speed limit is 35 miles per hour. But one woman tells Fox 16's Rochelle Turner some drivers just don't pay attention. Rochelle, what's going on?
That's exactly right, Stephanie. Good evening to you. Diane Kidwell lives on that stretch of road, and she's seen several accidents before because people were speeding. The problem has gotten so bad that someone actually crashed into her yard just a few days ago. And she's hoping the person will do the right thing, come back and fix her yard. Cars travel in both directions on this stretch of road in Saline County.
When you're on it, you feel like you're, just on a little roller coaster.
Diane Kidwell is talking about Congo-Ferndale Road.
It's awful, and there's curves, and there's places where you can't see ahead of you very well.
The speed limit is 35 miles per hour. But Kidwell has witnessed drivers doing much more.
55, 65 for the most part.
Her home sits right below this hill.
Well, there's an accident there on an average at least once every 2 weeks.
But just this week, Tidwell found this.
It was just torn up. Big tire tracks, and a lot of them.
It sits right in front of her house.
Just looks like somebody has just had fun out there just tearing up a yard.
She says a driver stopped to turn left onto John Road. Another car came from behind but couldn't stop in time and swerved onto her property.
Just barely missed my mailbox.
She's glad no one got hurt.
This violates my, my community, my sense of community, because I can't get out and I can't dig and cover that up.
She's recovering from a hip replacement and wants the driver to just admit they did it.
I don't expect anything out of anybody. I just do the right thing.
And the problem doesn't stop there. Kidwell says just a few months ago, some kids did some donuts in her front yard, causing damage that's still there. She says the sheriff's office has patrolled the area before, but she knows they can't be everywhere at once. Now, if you would like to help her repair her yard, visit the store on our website, fox16.com. Stephanie?
All right, Rochelle, thanks so much. Little Rock police investigating a deadly crash involving half a dozen people. It happened around 10:30 last night at 12th Street and University. One passenger unfortunately died, and the driver was sent to the hospital with broken bones. LRPD says no one was injured in the second car, which had 3 children inside. The cause of the crash is still under investigation. A local coffee shop remains in pieces tonight after an SUV crashes through its walls on Friday, injuring 5 people, including the owner. Tonight, Clarissa Bustamante shows us how that owner is holding up today.
The next thing I knew, there was a car speeding through the plate glass door and window, and it knocked the counter off, and I ended up on the floor, and then there was a car in the dining area.
When a vehicle tore through the walls of a Baba Bodan's coffee shop, Jennifer Summers and her son were working behind the counter.
I landed on my shoulder on the floor.
In the dining room, 6 or 7 guests.
A man took himself there. He thought his hand was broken. My son went to the hospital. His ankle might have been broken, and then there were multiple fractures, from what I understood, on a woman that was sitting in the dining room.
Sergeant Tony Murphy of the Fayetteville Police Department says accidents aren't foreign to College Avenue.
We have seen some accidents in this area just because of the, people braking and turning. And it's just a really hilly section of Fayetteville, so people need to be careful when they come over the hills.
Even this building isn't new to accidents.
The northeast corner was hit by a car before I owned the business, so over 20 years ago.
But what happened during this specific incident?
Some of the evidence on the roadway leads us to believe that one of the vehicles lost control, obviously causing it to crash into the building here.
I honestly think he hit the gas instead of the brake.
Police were reconstructing the scene earlier, tracing the tire marks left behind. And although the crash left its mark, Summers says ultimately she's grateful.
I'm glad nobody was, crushed and killed, and it could have been a whole lot worse. I'm very grateful.
And that was Clarissa Bustamante reporting. Police tell us the driver that plowed into the store was a teenager. He was cited for careless driving and also did not have a license. In a health alert tonight, bad news for us iced coffee drinkers. Oh no, a new study from Jefferson University says if you're drinking coffee for health reasons, order it hot rather than on ice. Researchers looked at the chemical differences between hot and cold brew light roast coffees from 5 different countries. The group discovered that hot coffee contains higher levels of antioxidants. They are helpful in reducing inflammation and fighting deadly diseases. UAMS is using March Madness buzz to promote free men's health care screenings. Everything from physicals to blood pressure, prostate, and HIV testing were offered as part of March Madness. The event targeted men 40 and above for many of the diseases that can easily be hidden without a professional discovering it.
Because it all starts with awareness. It all starts with being aware of your own health. And with that information, you're able to move on and make better decisions.
Supervised medical students conducted the test at St. Mark Baptist Church. It was the 6th year for the event, and there was also free food, child care, and exercise demonstrations. Well, coming up next, video games. They have exploded in popularity over the years. In some states, it's actually being recognized as a sport. Hear from some students who are looking to make it in the big leagues of professional gaming.
And we managed to stay mostly dry today, but this evening, showers and storms rolling into the natural state. Temperatures in the 70s both Saturday and Sunday. Tomorrow, though, we do have the threat for severe weather, so stay tuned because coming up in a couple of more minutes, we'll have a final look at the forecast.
The Good Earth Garden Center, where wonder grows.